develops everybody. Or tuba, or euphonium, if you've got baritone instruments. Those are round sounds that can fill the entire space. A trumpet's just going to nail something. A trombone's going to nail something. Okay, that's as far as brass instruments go. As flutes go, flutes can be, in fact, kin or piccolo. And the flute has a very high register. In fact, if you read orchestration books, the unique things about orchestration books is they'll give the entire range of an instrument from bottom to low, low to high, excuse me, from bottom to top. But they'll break down this range, the author of the textbook will break down the range into these parts that say weak, breathy, this is down to the bottom, strong, bright, shrill. And you have to understand where these positions are for each of the wind instruments. You just can't write notes for the instruments. You've got to know a little bit about orchestration. For instance, the very lowest note on flute sounds like this. Okay, can the congregation hear that note? Play a C above the staff. Okay, hear the difference? Everybody in the congregation can hear that. Okay, the pitch that she played before is a B. It's the low middle C. I'll play the C. I'll play half step. Just up a half step. Okay. Now just go up C, C, C. Okay. Each one of those, that last C sounds like a piccolo, doesn't it? Where are you going to write those for a congregation singing? If you want accompanying instruments, you've got to know the instrument. Unfortunately, we don't have an oboe. The oboe sounds in its low register not weak and breathy, but honky, like a duck. It's very difficult to do, but it's not a good sound. And so when you write for oboes, you've got to know where they sound reedy, sweet, nice sound. And above the staff, they sound thin and pinched. Oboes. Clarinets. The clarinet is a chameleon of all wind instruments. And so, if you ever play the clarinet, you know that it's got this wonderful, dark, low register, way down. It's called a shallow register. It's really, it's kind of like Peter and the Wolf. And then there's a break right in the middle between that shallow register and a more brighter sound. It's called the gray area. It's the break, actually, where the clarinets, actually, if you know wind instruments, Kim doesn't have a clarinet, but if she did, she would be, well, they start down at the bottom. They go all the way to the top, and then they got to start down at the bottom again. And they go to the top again. And that break, where they go all the way to the top, and the break is up here, where they have to go down and start again, is a neutral range. It's very difficult to manage. That's why professionals spend their entire life overcoming the break. If you understand where the break is, you're a wonderful orchestrator. If you write in the break, your sounds are just going to be neutral and nobody's going to want to play the part. And it's going to sound weak and breathy, gray, and that'll be a problem. So, but clarinet continuing on up, it goes nice, bright, but it gets up and bright, shrill. It doesn't get pinched, it just gets shrill. Like the oboe gets pinched up there. The clarinet gets shrill. There are lots of clarinets. There's the soprano clarinet, there's the A, B flat, A flat clarinet, or A clarinet, B flat clarinet. There's the bass clarinet, contrabass clarinet. So you got a whole family of clarinets. If you've got a clarinet choir in your church, use them. You can put this guy out of business. Because clarinets, just a bunch of pipes. Okay, so bassoons are wonderful everywhere. Low range all the way up to the top. In fact, Stravinsky uses the bassoon in an upper register, so it looks like a saxophone in the rite of spring. Well, anyway, woodwinds. Strings now. Strings are the most homogeneous choir. I'm talking about the woodwind choir, the brass choir, now the string choir, and there's also a percussion choir. Do we use percussion in our orchestras? Maybe we should. Okay, but the string choir is homogeneous when we say the Matt's got an instrument that is essentially a bass instrument here. But there would be the viola, which would be a little larger than Jay's instrument, at least the body would be a little larger. And then he's got the soprano instrument, and then if you go to a Suzuki or Yamaha class, then they've got little pint-sized instruments, quarter-sized instruments up here. But the double bass, of course, would be larger than the cello. But they always have the same structure. Everybody has 4 strings, basically double basses, occasionally we have 5, but the sound is consistent all the way down from the upper register of the violin. In fact, let's do that. What I'd like to have you do, Matthew, is start at your low C, play then the next octave C, and then the middle C, and then C above that if you could.
Sure.
Yes. The low open C. This is the lowest instrument. Okay, that's as far as the cello can go, which is a wonderful sound. Okay, then an octave higher. Okay, the cello's beginning to sing. Octave higher, C. Middle C. Okay, that sounds like some songs, right? The song. Okay, now an octave higher. Now, can you pick that up for us, Jay? You know where he is? It's an octave above the C. Okay, Matthew, go away. You see? It's the same sound. Okay, now play an octave above that, Jay. And an octave above that. Okay, where's he playing now? Yeah, almost an octave. It's essentially an harmonic, isn't it? You are fingering, aren't you? Right. But it's not a very pure sound. Right. Okay, so knowing where these breaks are, in other words, you can overlap sounds and make a continuous line, which is very helpful. This is a great demonstration here. The viola will be in between that too. The viola has a richer sound than the violin and a little more tenor line than the cello does. On the back of your notes, you have setting a pipe fiddle. The question is, I've got instruments, but I don't really want to go SATB. If you look at the pipe fiddle on page, no, this is hymn number, I shouldn't say page, hymn number, let's see, where's pipe fiddle? 460 would be one. Appears a couple times in this hymn. Hymn number 460. That's not the conversation here. No. Okay, well, this is a different harmonization that you got on your notes. But anyway.
There's one at 657.
Yes, right. But they're both the same harmonization date.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll use 460 or 657. Either one is the same. I used a different harmonization from a different source. What we have now is the hymn book, essentially a hymn book harmonization of the top 2 staves. You don't see that. Are there any extra notes there? So that the trio can see those notes, right? Pick up 3 Dave. Okay, then I have given some ideas for what to do with a group like this. I knew that we have a flute, cello, and violin. And this is just a reference for this trio, just so you know what we're talking about. I have not assigned parts. In other words, the flute is not taking the soprano, the cello is not taking the bass, and the violin is not taking anything that's on the page. I have given some ideas of what I like to do, and that is to think scalar. Scales are one of the best techniques that I have found using instruments. Yada-da-da-da-da. They're all passing tunes, right? You're bound to hit a note that works. If you find that you're only assigning pitches and then you can't hear the pitches because the congregation's singing or the organ's playing. So if you give linear aspect to the pitches, then the line's going to come out. So I'm going to ask Kim, you've got this part there, the hyperdolf part. Yeah, would you just play the first 3 measures. Okay. Yeah. expect a G. Does it sound like I've heard of what she was playing? Where did we get those notes? They're just scales. I mean, are you playing anything other than scales?
Nope.
No, just play an F major scale. Let me start with an F above middle C. Just play an F scale, up and down. That's all I wrote. Let's sing Come Thou Long Expected. Do you see any leaps in the line that I wrote for flute? Check out, do a quick scan of the flute part. Do you see any leaps anywhere?
Two. Two leaps.
You know, over the system, right? From the first system down to the second system.
Measure 2 and 3.
Second last measure. First one.
Yeah, but it's basically scalar, isn't it? Right. I could have been. I could have put in some 16th notes. Okay, let's sing with Kim as she plays this line. Here we go. We can either repeat the instrumental line or write another one. In fact, what I like to do is just do the opposite. So she comes on the first measure, she goes. In fact, inversion of the same idea, inversion, literal inversion, put a mirror underneath it, and it appears upside down. And it works. So, have I gone out of my way to buy an orchestration from some hymnal company? No, I'm just writing scales. It's that easy. In fact, I've written the same line for each of the other instruments. So I'd like to hear the cello part first. That'll be the linear part that Tim just played.
Sure.
Now let's see if it works as a bass line. I'm not saying that it does, but it does, but I want to hear it with us singing. 1, 2, sing. Not as successful, is it?
No.
But it could be. Yes. Who in the world is showing up? No way. Everybody rise. Everybody on your feet. This is Don Husted.
Right here. This is fine.
Come on, Don, join us.
Thank you.
And Don and his wife, Ruth. What a wonderful treat to have you here. Can you come up? Maybe Dave Clark can help, Don?
Sure.
Yeah. You all know Don? Sure. Yeah, this is great. Thank you. Okay. Now, Jay.
Oh, you're going to use that.
You've got the same
You want
line.
this up on the top?
Yeah.
What's the difference now with Jay's line? It's in between what Kim played and what Matt was playing. Matthew. Okay. Right. It's an octave. It's right, but the challenge that Jay has is what? I want you to sing, and I want you to hear Matthew's line. 1, 2, sing. Okay, let's start again. Go with Jay. 1, 2, sing. Okay, wasn't that pretty? But if you fill the congregational pews with 300 to 400 people, what are you going to hear? Nothing. No. What? Because he's playing exactly in the same register as the congregation is. I mean, there isn't a note that's basically outside of the staff. It's all within the staff. And that's where the congregation sings. Sopranos don't sing up above F. And altos don't sing much below middle C. And that's essentially all of the notes that he sang, that he played. Okay, so let's do it once again with Kim.